I have had so many questions about bits and people looking for the miracle bit that will solve the problems that they are having with their horses, that I thought it would be interesting to take this mare and put the wrong bit in her mouth so that you can start to see the difference between bitting problems versus problems arising from a lack of basic schooling or bad riding technique. This mare goes best in a long-shanked bomber's happy mouth pelham that has good tongue relief because she is tongue sensitive. I have put a straight bar pelham with a small port in her mouth, and you will see that she only starts to show that she is having tongue sensitivity problems once she gets into a canter. Because she has had the right basic schooling, she doesn't react at the slower speeds.
That I thought I'd just show you on 5 young horses I'm working here what happens when you become hand dominant and not leg dominant. Now, leg dominant is for everything you do, and even your stopping. What you need to do is to be strong down your whole leg to the base of your calf, okay? So that when you stop, you are getting strong with your legs just here in front of the girth. Remember that this is the go button on a horse, it's the accelerator. So I'm not suggesting you put your heels into the horse. You can see an immediate reaction from the horse when I do that, because that's telling the horse to go. I'm talking about putting your legs forward, getting strong, touching the reins, and when the horse is in the correct position, then stopping it. And always your stops are a touch, touch, touch. It's not one yank on the reins. So you will see that as you get strong on your legs like this, there, it kind of clenches your butt cheeks off the horse's backside a little, which also takes the weight off this area of the horse and allows it to get its back legs underneath it, which is what you're trying to do. The other thing that I'm seeing is people talking about rollbacks and trying to make a horse roll back. Now look at this horse when I'm hand dominant, what's happening to its head, and you can see the fight. Now, what happens from there is that people are now looking to try and find a bit that's going to cure that problem. That's not a bitting problem. You need to be very clear in your mind to distinguish between a bitting problem and a schooling problem. When you use your legs to make this horse turn, you see immediately I put my leg on. Now the horse will turn with no shake of its head at all. So now I'm able to see if the horse is comfortable in the bit it's in, because I've got it to be leg dominant in the turn, not hand dominant. The minute you start to yank the horse around, look at that, immediately you get the wrong shape. If I lighten up my touch and touch this horse, now get it to step away off my leg, now there's no more fuss with the head, and the pull on the reins is so much lighter. The other thing, just while I'm talking, you will notice that when these horses get heavy, I use my voice to go, and immediately the horse has a reaction, because what I've done in the schooling process is while I'm sensitizing it to the legs, what I've done is every time I've used my voice, I've tapped it on the shoulder or on the backside if that's what I'm needing to do with a whip at the same time as I use my voice. So that now I don't need to carry a whip, which is also far less stressful for the horse, that I'm not carrying the whip. They're aware of the fact that that's in my hand, but my voice will take the place of that whip. If I find they're desensitized to that, then I will go back and show them that little lesson again with the whip and my voice at the same time until when I touch. You see, this horse is completely responsive to the legs. When I touch, as I said, on the go button with my heels here, the horse moves immediately forward. Now, when I get strong and touch, that horse will pick its head up slightly, and when I touch backwards, now it's going to come back, because I've taught it all the primary lessons that I've been talking about. Firstly, you can't get a horse that's going to be sensitive like that if you haven't taught it first to leg yield off your legs and put the head down where you want it. Come. So all of those lessons now start to pay dividends. You've taught it to stop, and when it backs up, it's going to back up, and as it backs up, to start with, you're going to drop your hands, okay, so that it learns. If it will respond to the pressure, you are going to give back to the horse and take the pressure away from it, so that now every time you stop and back up, now you don't have to let go as much. You can just touch with your fingers, and this horse will respond to that really nicely and not shake its head. So all the story about bitting, the bitting, you need to get the horse comfortable to be able to school it. But after that, you need to do this primary schooling lessons first, and then start searching for the bit that it's really going to be comfortable in. If you find it's uncomfortable, fine, change it, but that's not the primary problem in most of the areas I'm seeing. And you will build up the stops as you go. You will not make your big stops to start with. Just remind the horse each time, there's a better stop, and now she's got her head in the right place. Remember also, I'm now facing the gate that is home. So to start with, stop facing away from home. The horse is aware of where home is. So I'm going to get strong with my legs now, pick my hands up, and when the horse is in the correct position, I've hardly got to touch the reins to make it stop.
There you can see the mare reacting to tongue pressure while I'm doing these suppling exercises. And this is when you need to start to pay attention and look for a bitting solution, because she is very willing to perform all the moves she is being asked to make. So it's obvious that she is not reacting because she is unable to perform the maneuver, but just quietly showing her discomfort by opening her mouth and sucking her tongue back into the back of her mouth to escape the tongue pressure. And you will see all the time at a canter that she is just mouthing and trying to get her tongue away from that pressure, even when I'm not touching the reins and putting pressure on her mouth. There you can see her doing it again in the stop, and she is stopping really nicely, but just reacting to that tongue pressure from this bit.